There was yet another horrific machete attack in Melbourne over the weekend, this time at an Altona shopping centre where a man was attacked by a group of men demanding his mobile phone.
One of the most ridiculous political ideas I think I have ever heard of, and that is being supported, it seems, by senior Victorian police.
But first, the Victorian government has once again tackled violent crime with all the force of a wet tissue and the uncompromising power of a bin. No, that's not just a pithy rhetorical phrase on my part, they're actually...
Ladies and gentlemen, buckle up because we're diving into one of the most baffling chapters in Australian politics today. The Victorian government's latest solution to a surging crime wave that's got machetes flying and communities trembling. Picture this. Melbourne streets, once buzzing with life, now shadowed by fear as youth gangs wield these deadly blades like everyday accessories. Over the weekend, yet another brutal attack unfolded at an Altona shopping centre, where a man was cornered by a pack demanding his phone, leaving him slashed and scarred. This isn't isolated. It's part of a horrifying trend. But instead of cracking down with iron fists, the powers that be have unveiled, drumroll, machete disposal bins. Yeah, you heard that right. Over 40 of these shiny receptacles parked right outside police stations like some twisted recycling program for weapons of terror. It's as if they're saying, hey kid, after your rampage, just pop that blade in here. No questions asked. Assistant Police Commissioner Brett Curran stepped up to the mic, touting it as a family-friendly way for worried parents to ditch their teens' hidden horrors. But come on, if your household chat involves, son, got any machetes stashed away? You're way past bins and into therapy territory. Now, let's peel back the layers on why this feels like a bad joke scripted by out-of-touch bureaucrats. Victoria's crime stats are screaming red alerts. A whopping 627,000 offenses in a single year, up 17% and marking the busiest arrest spree since the 90s. 208 collars a day. Youth offenders aged 10 to 17 are the dark stars here, clocking 63% of robberies, nearly half of aggravated burglaries, and a quarter of car thefts. These aren't petty pranks. We're talking high-stakes havoc, with car thefts spiking 47% to levels not seen since Y2K fears, and stolen vehicles crashing wildly, claiming 6 lives in a 73% surge of such incidents. Premier Jacinta Allen brushes it off as kids being challenging. But that's like calling a hurricane a light breeze. Her government's response? These bins, coupled with a machete sales ban kicking in come September, making it illegal to tote one around. Finally, after who knows how long it was oddly okay to stroll suburbs with a foot-long blade. But hold on, because the irony thickens like overcooked gravy. Curran himself admits weapons won't vanish. Crooks will pivot to kitchen knives or whatever's handy. So, we're banning one tool while handing out tips on alternatives? It's absurd, like outlawing hammers to stop vandalism but suggesting screwdrivers instead. And remember those toughest bail laws in Australia rolled out in March? They flipped the script, prioritizing community safety over remand as a last resort. Custody for youth offenders doubled. Sure, but crime? Still skyrocketing. Why? Because the system's a leaky sieve. Repeat offenders zip through courts with slaps on the wrist. No real deterrence. Police Minister Anthony Carbines calls the data unacceptable, but promises future fixes. Tell that to the families barricading doors or the victims nursing wounds right now. This machete bin fiasco isn't just a policy flop. It's a symptom of a deeper rot in Victorian governance, echoing the ghosts of their infamous COVID lockdowns, the world's longest at 262 days of curfews, 5 kilometers leashes, and solo outdoor masks that experts dubbed overkill. Mental health cratered, businesses crumbled, yet outcomes lagged behind other states. Now, that same heavy-handed yet ineffective vibe bleeds into crime control, virtue-signaling stunts over substance. International media's eating it up. The New York Post mocks it as a ban-ahead blunder, Fox News pegs it as progressive policy gone awry, and social media turns Victoria into a global punchline. We're the land of kangaroos and now, apparently, criminal convenience stores. So, what's the real fix? Let's get creative and practical, drawing from what works elsewhere. Start with ironclad consequences. New Zealand's bail reforms slashed grants by 50% and actually dropped crime. Victoria's version needs teeth, not just talk. Enforce parental accountability laws. If your teen's out slashing at 2 a.m., fines or community service for guardians could flip the script overnight. Swift justice through fast-track courts for habitual hoodlums, ensuring punishment hits hard and fast. Beef up electronic monitoring. No more ankle bracelets snipped without sirens blaring. Go real-time with GPS pings triggering instant cop responses. And let's not forget root causes. Invest in youth programs that steer kids from gangs, like mentorship hubs blending education, sports, and trades to build futures beyond blades. In summary, this video unpacks the sheer absurdity of Victoria's machete disposal bins amid a crime epidemic fueled by youth violence, skyrocketing stats, and failed policies. It critiques the government's feel-good gestures, like bins and bail tweaks, that ignore deterrence, accountability, and proven strategies, while highlighting global ridicule and calling for bold, common-sense reforms to reclaim safety. If you're tired of the spin and crave raw truths on Australia's underbelly, hit that Patreon link below. We're the unfiltered voice exposing the mess, one revelation at a time. Stay vigilant, folks. Real change starts with demanding better.